A very warm day, everyone. Welcome to virtual learning classes of SLVM School Chekapatnagaram. And a very warm day, everyone. This is your Valley addressing from SLVM School Chekapatnagaram, dealing with the subject English of Class 7. I hope everyone are fine and doing good. So, children, in this video, we are going to discuss about our third lesson in our Unit 3. Lesson 3C, the magic of silk. The magic of silk. What is silk? You know our clothes? Our clothes are made up of cotton, silk, and we use many different types of fabrics. So, in this video, we are going to know about the lesson The Magic of Silk, which was given in our textbook. Okay, children? Yeah, let's go with our lesson The Magic of Silk. Did really the silk done any magics? See, this is a story from China, and this is a story taken from China a long time ago. That means of the long period, the many days ago, there lived an old woman in a hut in the forest. And children, we already know that, and the story is taken from China, and from many days ago, the story has taken place. On that time, the mainly we have two characters in the lesson are there lived an old woman in a hut. There is a old woman who lives in the hut in the forest. Her husband had been killed by a tiger some years ago, and the old woman's husband was killed by a tiger some years ago. It's a very common issue there. Why? Because they are living in the forest. So obviously it may happen that the wild animals may kill the people who are living on the forest and who are living nearby the forest. It's a casual death. And she was old and weak. So the old woman, the name old itself says about that she was old and weak due to her age. Life was difficult for her and her daughter Sume. Life was difficult for her and her daughter. Why? Because there is no support of a male. Only the female are leading the family there. So, life to lead in a happy manner, the old woman feel somewhat difficult. And the old woman was living with her daughter Su Mei. Come again? Su Mei. Okay, children? Su Mei did all the cooking and cleaning herself. She also looked after the silkworms in their garden. The worms gave them fine thread to make beautiful silk. And the old woman didn't unable to do any works, so that her daughter Sume is performing all the works, all the major aspects in their house. Sume only cooking and herself cleaning all the house and the utensils and everything. And she also looked after the silkworms in the garden. The main business what the old woman and her daughter are doing is making of silk. How we get that silk? We get silk from the insects, silkworms. And those silkworms mainly we find in on leaves. We know that we have a leaf, right? We all know about the leaves, right? On the leaves we may get these silkworms. So obviously we have a gardening area. On the garden area we have many trees. On the trees, on the leaves, we may found these silkworms. Okay. The worms gave them fine thread to make beautiful silk. From that silkworms we will make this beautiful silk, and on that silk, while using that silk we are supposed to make our clothes. And so May sold the silk to travelers in the village market. And we already know that they are living in the forest. Obviously, near the forest, we may have some village forest markets. So she supposed she was very interested to sell that silk on the village market on that way. In this way, she got enough money to buy foods and other things. While selling that silk to the village travelers, she may get the enough money to lead their lives, and they are very happy to buy food and other things by selling this silk from silkworms. One day, as Sume was returning home, it started to rain heavily. As usual, when she was returning from the village market, it started to rain heavily. It's a heavy rain. It was getting dark too, and also it's becoming night time. It's too dark. So May ran into the first hut she said. While on the way, she ran into the hut. There are some many more huts on there. While getting the heavy rain, firstly she ran into the hut while the hut is visible first. The door was open and there was no one inside. The hut's door was obviously open. No one is inside. No one is there on inside of the hut. Is anybody in? She called loudly. She shouted loudly that, is anybody in the hut? Just like that, Sume shouted again and again. But there was no reply. But there is no reply. Why? Because no one is there on the hut. Sume looked around the hut. Sume tried to look around all the hut. The floor was very dirty. The floor was very dirty. Bowls and pots were left unwashed. There are some bowls and pots which are non washable, those are not clean. Sume swept the floor and washed all the bowls and pots. Sume took all the bowls and pots and she washed it. And she washed all the bowls and pots. By the time she had finished, the hut was as clean as new one. She cleaned it everything. Now the hut is looking like a new one. But by then the rain had stopped too. Simultaneously the time adjusted like that. When she cleaned everything, the rain also stopped. I had better go home, she said to herself. She thought that my time has completed. It's time to go to home. I may better go to home. Why? Because the rain had stopped. Mother will be wait worried. Why? Because her mother is worrying for her. That's why she wants to go to her home immediately. So students, in the next video we will discuss more about this lesson. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any doubts, please contact me through WhatsApp. Thank you everyone.